Welcome to KBS World Radio. You're now tuned into Korea24's Korea Book Club, where we explore the world of Korean literature. This is our weekend replay edition, playing back our book segment from Wednesday's show. I hope you enjoy it. I'm your host, Alana Hill. And today we're joined by our literary critic, Barry Welch. Thanks for joining us, Barry.
Hello, it's great to be here.
Barry, what's the book you're bringing us today?
So today we are talking about a delightful little book with a rather large heart. The English title is It's Okay Not to Get Along with Everyone. The Korean title is 적당히 가까운 사이. And the Korean writer goes by the name of Dancing Snail. Dancing Snail.
Okay.
And Dancing Snail is both a writer and an illustrator. It's very popular in Korean and on SNS and so on. And this is a very gentle, illustrated sort of self-help guide that was a runaway bestseller in Korean and has now been lovingly translated for English readers by Sandy Joosun Lee. And it has lots of short chapters and very warm, whimsical drawings, and it feels less like a lecture and more like a friendly chat with someone who genuinely understands the stress of trying to please everyone. And so throughout this book, Dancing Snail shares a very simple but empathetic advice on how to set healthy boundaries, prioritize your own peace and space, and importantly, say no without feeling guilty. And so rather than urging us to spread ourselves thin, like some other sort of how to be successful books, Dancing Snail encourages readers to embrace solitude when they need it, when we need it, and to put our energy into the relationships that truly matter. And so the message is quite refreshingly clear. It's okay if not everyone loves you, because genuine connection is about quality and not quantity in the eyes of Dancing Snail. So for readers, I think this book can feel like a gentle hug, and it reminds us that it's perfectly fine to respect your own needs, even if, like the title suggests, that means not getting along with everyone we meet.
Well, what a lovely description, that it feels like a gentle hug. I'm looking forward to talking about it more, but I want to talk about the title first a little bit. It's okay not to get along with everyone. It's very interesting. It doesn't really give much away. Barry, tell us more what kind of book this is.
Right, yeah, so that is an interesting title. Might sound a little bit provocative at first, almost a little confrontational, like it's giving you permission to be standoffish or combative. But really, it's a very, very gentle, very reflective collection of very short, almost anecdotal personal essays. So it isn't like a traditional self-help book, you know, it doesn't have fully worked through kind of essays and things like that. They are very short. And the author, Dancing Snail, is, like I said, she's a Korean illustrator and essayist who I think came to prominence on SNS and has then had these books published in Korean, which have been very successful. And she generally writes about love and friendship and heartbreak and, you know, just the overall healing, personal healing. And she does this in a light and conversational tone, which people respond to on SNS and have been responding to in these books. And so the chapters are sort of styled to feel like, you know, a letter from a friend, someone who's sort of speaking to you in a quite intimate way, from the position of having learned the hard way and, you know, sort of telling you, you know, it's okay. You don't have to force yourself to fit into every relationship that you encounter, whether it's at work or in your personal life or whatever. And so what she's doing in this book is urging readers to stop apologizing for, you know, maybe outgrowing people or childhood friends or co-workers and to set the healthy boundaries. This is kind of the recurring primary theme, I guess we could say, of this book. And so it's a love letter to self-respect and a reminder that you don't need to please everyone to live a good life and to be happy. And so I think this is quite refreshing for a lot of people. We often feel burdened by, you know, having to please everybody around us. But that core idea is that it's actually very healthy. And honestly, it's necessary to accept that you don't need to click with every single person. And so Dancing Snail reminds the reader that, forcing friendships or people-pleasing all the time is really just draining your energy. And instead, it's okay to keep a comfortable distance and protect your own peace and even choose who gets close to you. And, like I said, I think the way the book is styled is it's meant to feel like a kind friend or companion kind of whispering in your ear, hey, it's okay to choose yourself first. There's no judgment. It's just this permission, sort of giving you permission to stop trying so hard with everyone.
It definitely sounds very comforting, very relatable. And Barry, you mentioned the book has these lovely illustrations throughout. What role do they play and how do they fit in with the advice?
Yeah, right. So the illustrations are a big part of the charm of the book, and I think this is one of the reasons why she has done so well. So each chapter starts with these little sort of cartoon-like illustrations, and I guess really I think she's an illustrator first and foremost. So the chapters are paired with these very simple, quite whimsical drawings, with little cartoon people and this sort of kind of soft characterization style, where you have these characters navigating, awkward social moments in the office or in a little minor confrontation or something like this. And so these little, very inoffensive cartoons, they can make the heavier topics, like boundaries and letting go, feel quite light and approachable. And again, they just, it's not meant to be read in one sitting. So you can kind of flip through it in these little bite-sized pieces and, smile at these little cartoons and read an essay and walk away with a little, nugget of some useful or meaningful information. So it's this sort of cozy self-help, but it's sort of trying to avoid being preachy.
It sounds really engaging, and the visuals certainly seem to make the message even more, as you said, accessible and personal. Barry, what would you say makes Dancing Snail's writing style stand out?
So again, I think the reason that this has been so popular with people is because it's so simple. Her writing style is just very, very plain but quite warm. It's very, trying to be very comforting. And I think a lot of readers that like her work and follow her, note that she uses these, sort of small metaphors and everyday illustrations to just gently point out how often we blur boundaries in the name of love or friendship or something like this. And there was one critic I noticed that mentioned how she likened an unreliable friend to a missing hairpin that's never around when you need it. And so you have these little moments like this that sort of help you stop and reflect on one-sided relationships. And I think the translation by Sandy Joosun Lee, who's done a few of these sort of healing novels, she's translated a few of those novels, and this is kind of in the same sort of wheelhouse. She keeps the tone conversational. It has a soothing quality, and again, like I say, the tone is like the sort of caring friend, just reminding you of these things that you perhaps kind of already know deep down.
Well, it sounds like a book many of us could use from time to time. So if you're looking for a gentle, comforting read that reminds you it's okay to put yourself first, it's okay not to get along with everyone, might be the one to add to your list. Barry Welch, thank you so much for that thoughtful recommendation.
Okay, take care.